Hello everyone, happy full moon in Scorpio. All right, my mic is on. Oh, it's not on, it's actually right here. So let me put that up here. Don't want it to move around a lot. Okay, so happy full moon in Scorpio. I hope everyone is well. This message is for everyone, okay? So in this video, I will go over every zodiac sign, but the main message for all zodiac signs I'll talk about at the beginning of this video right now, okay? So this full moon and all zodiac sign full moons is for all signs, all right? I want to say that a lot in all of my videos so that everyone knows that this is for all signs, and it doesn't have to just have your zodiac sign on the write-up for you to receive a message that you need astrologically, okay? So if you're a Scorpio birth sign, this is your full moon, okay? We are in the sign of Taurus right now, so happy birthday to all the earth sign Taurus out there, okay? So much to say that I want to structure it without jumbling it all up. Okay, if you're Scorpio North Node, moon sign, rising sign is very strong. You will feel the Scorpio moon if you are the birth sign of Scorpio. If you're the North Node, rising sign, and moon sign, you'll feel it very strongly. Also, if it's in your chart in Mars and Pluto, then if you have that connection, then you will feel it, okay? Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. They give those both, okay? Now, when it's ruled, if you feel more connected to Pluto, you will find that you have this connection with creation and destruction. If it's more with Mars, then you'll feel this energy to always fight for what you want, or just a lot of willpower. Sometimes it could be destructive and wild and crazy, and sometimes it's more of a way of pushing through experiences that you find difficult, okay? But either way, as a Scorpio, you can feel connected to Mars energy, Pluto energy, energies of Pluto in the 8th house, because you're ruled by the 8th house of other people's money, meaning that you are really good at making money and earning it from other people, or just coming into money very easily, other people's money, okay, where you weren't really expecting money, but you might have gotten a great job offer, or money that flows to you quite easily, okay, through work, or just it happens, it just happened, you know. You win the lottery, or somehow you get it through emotions, or through death and rebirth, or through death, you know, or through just not realizing that you've earned it before, or in some fashion, and then you got it, okay? Scorpio rules sexual energy, sex, death, rebirth, loss, okay? So through this full moon, it might bring up emotions for people of struggle from the past, or struggling through life, or teaching yourself, or maybe leading up to the full moon, you had to do a lot of things where you had to teach yourself how to do it, how to fix it, how to improve it. Just really going through that. This full moon energy is very fixed. It's very much making up its mind on one thing, and then, you know, that's the one thing, that's what we're working with, and that's it. No question about it. It's the Scorpio energy is very fixed. It's not a flexible sign. It's not changing. They're very much standing their ground, and once they make up their mind, they go through it, whether they might feel like, oh, I should really change my mind here, you know. There might be a little bit too much pride, or not really wanting to let other people down. So it could be both negative and positive emotional reaction to not stopping something when it's going bad, okay? So with that said, even though it's a water sign, a water element for this full moon, the energy is very much strongly earth energy based, and we are in Taurus season. So earth and water goes together very well. Okay, Scorpio and Taurus are opposite on the chart. So this is a very powerful time for both Taurus and Scorpio. Yay. And I always forget to mention the opposite sign. I try not to. So if you're on the Pacific time, 2:11 p.m. is the peak of the full moon. If you're on Pacific Standard Time, I believe it's 5:11 p.m. is the height peak of this full moon on May 18th, 2019. All right. So we're looking at the sun in Taurus, and the sun in Taurus means that this is the birth season of Taurus signs. Okay, Mercury is in Taurus in the 8th house, and if you're Taurus, you'll be dealing with a lot of other people's money, maybe receiving money, getting contracts, getting deals. Also, it deals with taxes, loss, you know. So when you're dealing with business, you gain and you lose. So that's normal. Scorpio, in the house of Scorpio, the 8th house, you're dealing with sex. So there could be relationship issues, wanting, lusting, wanting in a relationship, not in a relationship, thinking about it, making peace with it. All of that has to do with relationship and connecting with another person. Also, dealing with death or any kind of loss. Okay, it could be loss of a relationship, a person that you know. Just dealing with that around this time and making peace with it and dealing with it the best way that you can. Okay, okay. So moving on to Capricorn. Okay, and usually, so Scorpio. Let's see if I'd written down Scorpio. Let me just flip over to Scorpio on the chart since we just discussed Taurus. Okay, so in Scorpio right now, and I might jump back around to it later on, and that's okay. With Scorpio, Scorpio is mainly in the 2nd house. Okay, and it's dealing with money, neighborhood, and family. So with Scorpio at this time, you might be dealing with a lot of family issues where maybe someone might need your energy. I know 2 Scorpios that are dealing with that right now. So you're dealing with money, and the money doesn't have to be something negative. It could be something positive, like how you're going to use your money this summer to have fun, or you know, your responsibilities and things that you have to do. So issues around money, you know, whatever that is. And since this is a general video, I'm not going to go into all the details because it's not a personal reading, but the essence of the experience is still going to be there. So the experience of money, you're dealing also with family and neighborhood. So anything that has to deal with your neighborhood that you have to work through, and anything that's dealing with family, you know, family needs, family wants, any kind of family issue. And you have to, like all people, all zodiac signs aside, we have to deal with how we're going to deal with that person and what they want. Okay, and being that you are in that Scorpio full moon, I'm going to check it off as I read things so that I don't come back to it later. You will be dealing with the 3rd house issues. Okay, as Scorpio is in the 3rd house, you will also deal with 2nd house issues as well. Okay, and let me flip to that, because I don't want to miss that. Okay, so dealing with the 2nd house issues of money, also dealing also with self-esteem. Maybe someone wants something out of you that you can't really give, so your emotions are feeling like, okay, I'm stuck in this 2nd house issues of maybe I have to work, but someone needs me to do this or that. And dealing with your own self-esteem regarding money or actual people wanting something from you that you can't give. Okay, and your possessions could be your time. It doesn't have to be your you know, physical things that you own. It could be your time is very valuable. Okay, 2nd house issues of siblings, maybe working out something with your sibling. Okay, maybe from your neighborhood to the other neighborhood, trying to figure out how you're going to use your time over the summer, you know, or whenever this event is going to happen in the near future. Long trips, short trips, maybe you're going on a long trip, maybe you're going on a short trip, okay, and communicating that. So Scorpio, and even Taurus too, because opposite signs will kind of feel the effect of what's going on, but usually Scorpio, you're going to feel the effects of the second and the first house issues. So look into this. So I'm giving you some examples, but look into it yourself. Like look up, you know, these houses, what they mean and how they relate to your situation. Okay. All right. So let me go back to my snapshot of the calendar. Okay. So we just worked through that. Now let's look at Gemini, okay? Now with Gemini, it's all about your public persona, your career, your goals, you know, your outward approach for your own goals and your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself. So you might be getting more attention whenever you are in the mid-heavens. It's in this one of the 4 points in the astrology chart. You are getting that attention of the 10th house of your career, your personal, your reputation, just how you're perceived and how you want to be perceived. If you care, usually Geminis are like, whatever, I'm telling you what it is and that's what it is. Okay. And then with Sagittarius is in the opposite. So the Sagittarius is more wanting to be more reserved, really not getting any kind of attention. But if you do speak out as a Sagittarius, you'll just want to get your point across and keep it moving. Okay. So that's what Sagittarius is mainly focused on. This part of the full moon, you really want to stay within your 3rd and your 4th house experiences, and mainly for Sagittarius, it's communication issues from the 3rd house. It's really communicating with people that need your advice. Sagittarius are known to give great advice, and this is because they're a fire sign. If a fire sign gives you advice, it's really what's in your best interest. And that's going to give you less regret in making your decisions. So you should really listen to that. The 4th house issues for Sagittarius will experience that. It's mainly around your parents, your home, feeling a foundation, right? Feeling like you are connected to where you are, okay? And anything with helping, give me 1 second. My elastic bands, okay. Dealing with any issues that has to do with selling a home or buying a home or looking into maybe relocating, okay? So you guys might end up dealing with issues like that. Okay, so I'm jumping around to different signs. So let's look at Virgo, okay? So Virgo is mainly in a position now where you want to get attention, okay? All right, and you really want, oh, let me go back to Sagittarius, Jupiter. Okay, so you have Jupiter, Sag, and I didn't put that down here, but it's on the chart. You have Jupiter in pretty much the 4th house, okay? So jumping back to Sagittarius, okay, and the 4th house, okay? So you are slow to do anything that is related to the 4th house. You want to really look at it and rethink it. So instead of like just jumping into it, you just want to make sure that everything is good with whatever decision you're making, with if it has to do with your home, moving, parents, anything to have to do with anything that you will be connected to. Okay, so it's more of a slow yes than a fast yes. That's pretty much what I can say about that. Okay, all right. So looking at Virgo, Virgo is dealing with a lot of 12th house issues. So anything to do with, just be careful that you're not making things worse for yourself. Okay, and nothing is hidden. Any secrets or anything that's hidden, it will come out. Okay, so just make sure that you're doing everything on the up and up, and that you are really just saying what it is that you need, or doing what it is that is right for you, rather than doing what you're comfortable with or used to. Do what is actually right, because in the end, it's not about exactly what you want. It's just what needs to be and what is. Okay. And the 12th house issue is basically, you know, just being mindful of your health. So you're not doing anything that's going to put you back in the hospital, or undo anything good that already has been done already, or anything good that's happening right now. You don't want to undo any like goodness or blessings or good things that's happening. Don't make things worse. And if you're experiencing 11th house issues, it's all about you maybe communicating with the people that are around you, that are helping you, that are beneficial to you, but also having those good friendships, and just surrounding yourself with good things that will help better you where you are. Okay, very important for Virgos to do that. Okay, and this is a time that you can rise above anything that is happening right now. And if you're going through a rough time, this is a great time for you to rise above everything and make the best and good decisions that will benefit you. For Pisces, Pisces is dealing with 6th house issues, which is also health, but how they serve others. So it doesn't have to be a Pisces in your life, but if there's a water sign person in your life, and you happen to be a Virgo, this, or vice versa between Virgos and Pisces. But for Pisces, if you have someone in your life that's very earthy energy or grounding to you, they don't have to be an earth sign, but this person will really, you'll bounce off of each other as far as healing. So there's a lot of healing energy there. And for Pisces, you want to look at your day-to-day routines and how you can improve them to better yourself, to lessen your stress, anxiety, worries, anything like that, and your service to others. So how are you helping someone, and then you're helping that person, but you're also receiving something back in return. So it's like making sure that that's good. Also, where pets are concerned for Pisces, making sure that your pet is okay, the health of your pet. So it's all coming in like full circle, and just making sure that everything on the home life is good. So even if you are Pisces helping someone, you're still taking a back seat to it, but things are still getting done. Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah, we have that. Okay. So let's look at Cancer, because I wrote down stuff, Cancer and Capricorn. So for Capricorn, you have Saturn in Capricorn right now. And the cool thing that I was looking at, you know what, I'll bring that up later with the actual full moon right now. We'll come to that after. Okay, so we have Saturn in Capricorn, and we have the South Node, which is all about karma and past life experiences or past lives. Okay, so this is about a work in progress. Okay, and for Capricorn is, what do you need to work on to bring that stability for you for the summer, right? For this time period, what can you improve in your life that will help you? And also dealing with anything that has ended and dealing with your own creativity. So anything that needs to end, relationship, work, any kind of behavior that needs to end. That way something better will happen. And that's what this full moon is offering you, Capricorn, is to really work through your karma, work through your past relationship issues, letting that go. Also karmic life lessons from past lives you could be working through. And Pluto is also asking you to let go of something. What do you need to let go of? So it's all really saying to clear it all out and bring structure, bring organization, have a more self-control, okay? Not so much controlling others, but controlling yourself. And fourth house issues where it's home and work, and finding a balance and a divide of that. So not spilling over work and home, vice versa. Okay, and then your opposite sign, Cancer, is dealing with 10th house issues and Mars. So Cancer is really trying to fight for themselves and really put themselves first. And this full moon, if you're a Cancer that you're about to start something new, this is you putting yourself first, so you'll be okay for the rest of your life or for this chapter in your life. All right, so we did that. Now with Leo, Leo is in the 11th house, okay? No planets are there for Leo and Aquarius. So let's look at Leo. Leo in the 11th house issues of, and I want to make sure of that. Okay. So let me look at the chart and really look at my Leos, my fire sign. Okay. So Leos with the 11th house issues. Your 11th house issues, Leo, is really focusing on friendship, and because of the way that the south node is right now, okay, you're looking at your past relationships and your past friendships, okay, and everything is friendship, no matter what kind of friendship it is. And it's so important for Leos for 2019 and 2018 too, is to really realize how their message is coming across, okay? That's very powerful for Leos right now, is how's your message coming across and why is this message important? And this full moon, that's why I was talking about the south node. This full moon has a very south node energy of karma, past experiences, past life, and that's for all zodiac signs. And for Leos, it's about not trying too hard to do anything, because without trying too hard, you guys naturally can get into the click and the flow and the energy of the moment, okay? So everything that you do, let it be organic, and that's for all fire sign. Let it flow, because when you let it flow, things work out good. You know, fire works good with air, so it's just letting things flow, okay? And you're in tune with that Aquarius energy, so you are very futuristic. You are very much within the time. It's like if time is falling behind, where things aren't happening on time like they should, Leo allows that push of wake up and step into the present and step into the future at the right time. So you're, you know, it's very much keeping in flow of what needed to happen already, okay? And that 11th house issues of organization, of groups and friendships, and of hopes and dreams and wishes, and the aspiration of what you want done can happen, okay? You just have to be organic about it. And since there's no planets at the full moon, anytime there's a full moon and new moon and there's no planets in your chart, you focus on the aspect of the full moon or new moon, whatever you're in. So for the full moon right now, you want to focus on, and I jotted it down, you want to focus on the understanding of your current situation right now. You want to focus on the aspect of the full moon, which I'll talk about after I do all of this, okay? So you want to really focus on what you're doing and why you're doing it, and just let that be. For Aquarius, you're dealing with a lot of fifth house issues, which is really thinking about your kids, your offsprings, your loves, right? And also thinking about, okay, I love my family and my kids, but I really need that balance of my personal relationship. And finding that creative outlet between balancing, if this applies to you and you have kids, or you have, you know, some other responsibilities, pets, parents, whatever stage of life you're in. But it's really finding that balance between your love life and your family love life, okay, your personal love life and family love lives. And also finding a balance of having a creative outlet for things that you actually love doing, like what makes you you, not just your work, your kids, your partner, but also what makes me me. That's what you're asking yourself. What do I do, right? And you also have no planets, so you're focusing on the triangle of the sun in Taurus right now. Okay, so your main focus right now, as everyone, is the sun and Mercury trying South Node, Saturn, and the full moon, right? That whole energy of finding structure, finding understanding through your past experiences and your life karma. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So for Taurus, which I've already mentioned Taurus already, okay, the sun in Taurus and Mercury, the 8th house, so we explained all of that already. For Taurus, going back to that, Venus is in the 8th house, okay, of Scorpio, of sex, death, loss, reincarnation, the play of death and rebirth. Uranus is in the 8th house, the play also of Scorpio, which is sex, death, and rebirth. Okay, so as Taurus, you have all this energy right now of Uranus, Venus, Mercury, and the sun. Okay, so this is all urging you to really speak out. Also, it's a very feminine energy of that Venus energy. Okay, and going against what is being restrictive or trying to be controlling of a feminine energy of Venus. And Venus is communicating this and saying, hey, you know, don't mess with me. I'm in the 8th house. You know, this is death and rebirth, and realizing that balance of that sexual energy, that sex energy of male and female, but neither the male or the female wants to be restricted, right? That's just that balance of it all. And having that 9th house of Sagittarius is 9th house. That 9th house is really going to educate you. It's going to not be held back by laws and restrictions. It's going to go the extra mile. You know, that Sagittarian energy in the 9th house is about travel. So it's going to go that distance. Whatever it's pushed, it's going to push even back harder. So no one or nothing likes to be held down or restricted. And right now, astrology gives you the time frame of what's going on here on Earth in our solar system. So right now we have restriction on women, whether you are into life, you know, pro-life or not, whatever, you know, your choice is. Every situation is different. So no one, you know, if you could be in someone's face and they've experienced something horrible and they don't want to be restricted, that person's going to fight back naturally and rightfully. So no one wants someone telling them what to do with their body or with themselves, right? So everyone's experience is different. We can only judge from our perfect understanding or our controlling, crazy understanding. So no one wants to be controlled. So that's a really touchy thing when someone wants to control you. No one likes that. So that's that energy right now. And this moon is saying, hey, I'm not going to be restricted. That Venus energy, which represents a feminine energy, the female aspect of Mars, is fighting back. And Mercury is all about communication, right? And the sun is like, if you're looking at the sun, it's like that rebirth. It's like coming back again to learn that same lesson. If you didn't learn it the first time, you're going to learn that lesson again. Okay. And it's that lesson of restricting feminine energy, and that's another way you can interpret the full moon right now. And that Taurus energy, okay, Gemini used to be old Taurus, right? So and here's Mercury, the ruler of Gemini. Follow me now. The ruler of Gemini and Virgo is Mercury, but also Gemini used to be Taurus. So Geminis can feel connected very much to Taurus, right? So Gemini used to be Taurus in the old astrology. So, you know, that energy of male and female, there's no, basically there's no need to fight. Both are the same but different, and neither wants to be restricted. So very powerful message right now. Okay, and it's like, wow, okay, noticing that. Okay, moving on to Libra. Libra is in the first house of Aries, okay? And Libra is that sign of balance, sign of the diplomat, right? Trying to, you know, if two people are disagreeing, Libra is like, oh my gosh, why can't you shut up and just see yourself in the other person, or find equal ground, or just you go away and you go away, you know, go to the root of it and say, hey, work together, or let's dig into these files and see how it all balance out. And then, you know, no one wants to do that because no one wants to look through their dirty laundry or shake their own tree, right? So no one likes to look at themselves. People are more comfortable with pointing their finger, especially when they're upset. So Libra is in the first house of self. And what Libra is saying is really look at yourself. Look at you and what's best for you, okay? And really focus on that. You and you alone, and instead of looking at someone else, really look at you and say, okay, what are you doing right for you? What are you doing right for someone else, really, or wrong? So it's really about looking at yourself, your appearance, and looking at how others see you. So Libra is saying that for all Libras, but also for others, to really look at themselves first, okay? And then Libra's opposite sign, Aries now. Aries is in the 7th house of marriage, partners, business, and known enemies. So for Aries, it's really about working on yourself and healing, because you have Chiron in there. So about healing yourself and just dealing with your partner, and dealing with your personal relationships that you have, but also business relationship, and just making sure that you keep a tight watch on that between now and the full moon. So for everyone, it's really from this full moon to the new moon. And also at the full moon, you're seeing that completion of what took place at the past new moon that just passed till this full moon, and everything is just finishing up, or everything is being revealed at the full moon. The full moon reveals everything that has been going on since the new moon. So you can see that. And right now, Aries, you could be healing from issues that you experienced 3 weeks ago up until now, and just making a clear path right now. Really seeing people who weren't for you and seeing their behaviors or how they've changed right now. Okay, so we've went through all of that. Pisces, Pisces has Neptune, the Fortune, and Lilith. Okay, the Lilith energy is the dark side of ourselves, the hidden side of ourselves, the side of ourselves that, what are you fighting for? What are you afraid of fighting for? Ask yourself that, Pisces. And why are you afraid of it? Why do you think it's wrong, or who's telling you it's wrong? Really trusting your intuition, trusting your dreams. You're very intuitive. So really trusting yourself again, and making sure that you are straight with your responsibility for yourself, and what you're doing and what you're not doing, and why is that. So you're really looking at yourself and saying, okay, why am I not doing this? Why, what do I need to do, and how can I do it better? Okay, and you are looking at your seventh or sixth house issues. So if I'm going to focus on the sixth house issues, okay, it's more about your day-to-day routine, anything to do with your health or your pet's health, or your work, and also the seventh house issues in your relationship with others, okay, and how you're getting along with other people, and why is there a disconnect, but mainly sixth house issues of you trying to really get a hold on your day-to-day life and any new decisions you need to make, and how can you make that to make things better for you, okay, and also for the people that you love and that you care about. So this video is pretty long, and that's okay. Okay, so right now I want to talk about the main message of this full moon, and I think I'm going to do that in a separate video just because this one is a little bit longer. So I think I'd rather do two videos, that way I can focus on the other aspect of it, but I'll mention that in this one. You know, like I did before, this full moon is more about communicating through restrictions, okay, and it's a grounding, even though it's a water emotion driven full moon, but it's more about how can there be some kind of grounding or make sense, you know, bring balance, because earth represents all the elements in one. So how can there be a solid understanding, a grounding understanding, a grounding experience, so that people can learn through the negative aspects of being restrictive, okay, and look at the positive aspects of restriction, stopping something that is too restrictive. So restriction is good. You can stop something, or you can actually be in the negative of not allowing something that needs to happen, okay. It deals with past experiences, past karmas, and past struggles, okay, and trying to find understanding through that, and that communication to find that understanding, okay. So that's what this full moon is really teaching us, is how can we better communicate, right, through that cycle of rebirth. It's like that lesson learning over and over again, okay. And how can Saturn really help to say, okay, how are we going to fight back in the right way, or how are we going to really get that message across in the right way? And the full moon is bringing up the emotion, but it's bringing light to a situation where it's being restrictive, right? And how can we be more understanding through that? So I hope that this helps. Please leave your comments, and really see how this Scorpio fixed mode energy is really going to shift. Especially, I feel, for the next 3 months, we're going to see a big pushback on anything that's restrictive. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.